What's going on? What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So, crazy week for the market, crazy week for crypto, Shiba, Bitcoin hitting all-time highs. There was a point in the week where every single Bitcoin crypto wallet in the world was in profit. When you think about that, it's just crazy. Every single person that had purchased Bitcoin in the world was at profit at one point this week. That's just mind blowing to me in the whole world. Now, what we're going to be going over today is not Bitcoin, not Shiba. We'll have other days for that. We're going to be actually going over a specific stock that caught my interest, and I'll tell you why. Is Facebook. Now, Facebook is looking interesting to me because of the amount of negative publicity surrounding the company right now. You see, they got the whistleblower thing going on. They got Mark Zuckerberg over here not caring about the world, not caring about humanity. So what happened with all of this? It's bringing the company to a 15 to 20% discount on stock. That's what I normally look for. These are the type of setups that I normally look for. A very strong, profitable company taking a beating and a hit due to negative publicity, putting it at a discount, and then we buy. It's just like that. That's what I look for. These are the type of companies and the type of plays that I'm into. Now, I like to line up fundamental events with great technical support areas to set up buys, sells, and so forth. Normally, I like my setups to at least be at a 15% to 20% discount from an all-time high. That's, ideally, the more the better, of course. Now, normally, I am a long-term investor, so I hold these positions a very long time, months, years. You do as you please. This is just for educational purposes and just to shine some light on some opportunities. I'll be doing this with different stocks. Every time I find a good setup, I'll, share the video, share the love, and then, you guys could do whatever you want. Now, so let's start out with the technicals. So as you can see, this is a daily pattern. I'm not gonna get into candlesticks. I'm not gonna get into support and resistance. Those are other videos. This is strictly for Facebook. As you could see, in September 14th, last month, stock was trading at $380. From September 14th, it melted off the face of this earth all the way to where we're at now, 316. So from the all-time high, we have been technically at a 20% discount. Right now, it's trading at a 17.3% discount from the all-time high. So that to me presents an opportunity. That to me looks great, especially because I know that Facebook is a top-notch company and they're strong, stronger than ever, as a matter of fact. So let's look at this. Let's see what we see here, okay? So the first thing that pops out to me is that you see those two little pink rectangle zones. Those are what I call zones. So as you see, back in September of 2020, we reached this zone. Boom, it got rejected. Then we bounced back off this one. Boom, and it's been in this zone for quite some time. Then finally, it broke out of the zone. Boom, April 6th. Breakout, retest, and then all the way up here. So what's neat for me is that we're getting right back to this zone right here of 300. This zone from 304 to 300 right here, that's a money spot for me. And especially because it is at a psychological whole number. You see that 300 right there? Everybody in the world is looking at that number right there. Everybody wants it to get there. Humans, banks, we're all drawn to whole numbers, 300, 250. or half numbers. I'm sorry, 300, 250, 200. We want to reach this 400. Us as humans, we want to push it up to the 400. So I love these numbers because normally they do present good buying or selling points. And I guide myself through that, you know? So as you could see, I've already kind of pre-made the zones and finding them. That first, this area right here from 304, from 310 to 300 is one zone for me. If it breaks that, which I mean, it has to have a lot of downward momentum to break that. If it breaks that, then the next zone that it'll probably, you see all this noise here? All of this noise that it's been going through. Let me put my little, no, sorry. All this noise. You see it? If it gets back into this zone, then it's going to be trading there for a while. But I personally do not see it breaking the zone of 250 and going even down even further. This to me, if it breaks this zone here, this to me just puts an even better buying opportunity to get a crazy, crazy return of like 50%, 40% return on your money. Let's say you buy down here at 250 or whatever the case may be. Boom, by the time that is at 320, you're already 25% up. By the time that is at 350, you're already 35, 36% up. It's just a great opportunity as it's presented. Okay. So one thing that really does pop out to me off the bat is that it closed on a daily candle. It closed below the actual 200 moving average, which is this right here. Let me show you. You see that red candle that closed under this line? That's the 200 moving average. And in the technical world, that's a big deal. You know, people look at this, banks look at this. So that tells me that this has a possibility of even going down. There's a lot of pressure on it to go down. Okay. Now, I personally don't guide myself off indicators. I don't really use indicators to tell me when to buy or sell. I use zones, okay? Those two pink rectangular areas, those are my zones. That's where I would see good opportunity. And I'm not saying put all your position in it, but maybe start a position. I'm a big fan of scaling out your entries. So I would never put, let's say, a full $1,000 in one entry. No, I'll put 300. Then I'll see how price fluctuates, how it's moving. Then I'll create another position. If it goes down even further, I'll put another 300 until little by little, I'll start scaling out my position and averaging it out, in other words, okay? So keep that in mind. So with that said, we have price getting to one of my zones, which is great. You know, this hardly ever happens. You have a company, a behemoth like Facebook, Microsoft going at a 20-30% discount. That almost never happens. So when it happens, this is when I step in. This is when I build positions and add them to my portfolio for the long run. Okay, so now that we have, this is the 50-day moving average, just so you know, which is an average of it calculates for the past 50 days, this and this and that. Then we have this blue one here. That's the 200 moving average. It's a very good indicator to find the support levels of pricing and so forth, you know? So let's add another indicator on here for you guys, which I'm not going to get into crazy technical stuff in this video. That's for other videos, but I like to use the RSI a lot. RSI is technically a tool that tells you when it's been overbought or oversold, in other words, okay? So whenever the line is over here on the bottom below this 30 or at the 30, that means that price is oversold. Whenever it's all the way at the top by the 70, that means that price is overbought, and meaning that there should be some pressure for selling. So you could see here, price was overbought and then dropped all the way down here. So now what's interesting and why I brought this up is because, as you can see, Facebook to the downward momentum is losing steam. What I mean by that is that these are little indicators that you look for. They're losing momentum to the downside, little by little, as you could see here. Now, for my technical people, as you can see, I know you probably spotted it already, but there's some divergence. Divergence is one of the best things you could find, especially when you're gonna long a position. That meaning that the price is going down, reaching new lows, but however, on the RSI, price is staying relevant, losing momentum, and is actually going onto the upside. Now, this is an indicator that there may, I'm not saying that there is going to be an end, there may be an end to the downtrend, and we're going to start to an uptrend, you know. But for all we know, this stretch down is the first leg of an Elliott wave pattern, which would be this one right here. For example, 1 0 1 2 3 4 5. For all we know, that's the start of that. Is it possible that Facebook is gonna have continuing negative publicity all the way to bring it down to $250? I don't know, guys, but I do know that we have two zones here and two good buying zones that I'm personally going to take advantage of. So I just wanted to shine some light on that. So for technical, as you guys can see, it's been in an uptrend. It broke it right here. This blue line right here, after it broke that, break, retest, and it's been on a downward trend from then. Maybe anybody could see 1, 2, maybe it'll go doom, 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 and then it'll start back. So you see, there's different things that can happen. So that's technically, guys, okay? Now, let's get to the bread and butter of the company. Let's see how much money they have. Let's see how much money they're producing, what their balance sheet is looking like, okay? Now, we are in the fundamentals of the company. A lot of people might say this is the boring side of everything. That's why I started with the technicals, because it's more exciting. I like technicals. However, it's very important that you know that you're investing, especially if you're investing long-term, into a company that is profitable and that has good a future, right? So as you can see here, balance sheet is investing one-on-one, assets, liabilities, so forth, and this and this and that. So what you want to look for here is you want to make sure that this company has a strong balance sheet and in the positive. Now, some companies are brand new and they might have a negative balance sheet. They might not even be a profitable company for the first 5 years of their startup. But then after the 5 years, they start progressing and so forth. In this case, from 2016 all the way to 2020, Facebook has been making cash. Okay, keep in mind that these numbers that you see are values displayed in millions. What does that mean? Let me kind of break that down for you so you understand. So let's say this 61,954, 61,954. Whenever you see a ledger like this, value displayed in millions, means that whatever number they put out there, you're going to multiply it by $1 million. So what that number really means, 61,954, is $61,954,000,000. That's crazy, crazy money. All right. So from 2016 through 2020, as we can see, every year, there's a little hiccup here, but they stayed the same. Assets have been increasing. We could go into all of this, but that's for another video. And you definitely would have to take some time to understand and how to break down these statements and so forth. But long story short, you're looking for these total current assets. And then you want to go down here after everything, their buildings, their goodwill, all the land that they own, all the accounts receivable, everything. This is the number that you're looking for. So from 2016, We were at 64 billion, and now we're at 159 billion in assets in 2020. Sounds like a very strong company to me. Something I would feel comfortable putting my money into and not losing any sleep at night. So let's look at the liabilities from 2016 through to 2020. Total liabilities, 5 billion. 10 billion, 13 billion, 32 billion, 31 billion. So as you could see, this is what you want to see. Assets, liabilities. These guys are killing it. They have a whole bunch of assets. They own crazy amount of companies. I mean, it's Facebook, guys. It's Facebook. There's no reason why that stock should be at a 20% discount. And if it is, then we're buying. Oh, look, they changed their name. How funny. Yeah, because they have the, so look, Facebook is Meta Platforms now. So that's their new name. All right, so balance sheet checks out. That's good. Now let's see their money, their cash flow. This is the day-to-day cash that they're bringing in, okay? I'm not gonna confuse anybody with any of this. Okay. All right, so there we go. All right, so this is almost very easy to read. As you can see, it tallies it up in little charts here for us from 2016 to 2020. This is cash they're getting in. These are billions again, okay? Operating income and so forth. So let's go one by one. Revenue, that's how much cash they're bringing in. Remember, these are billions. 27 billion, 40 billion, 55 billion, 70 billion, 85 billion. Okay, I mean, count me in, you know? Operating expenses, this is how much it costs them to make that money. Cost them 15 billion, 20, 30, 46, 53. Long story short, once you subtract this from this, their total income and profit are these numbers right here. So 12, 20, 24, 23. Looks like there was a little hiccup from 2018 to 2019. And then last but not least, 2020 with 32 billion leading the way. Now, remember, Uncle Sam always gets his cut. So you got the income taxes. Once they pay their taxes, this is the money that you're really looking at of how much cash they're making. So, I mean, it looks good to me, man. They made 10 billion, 18, then from 18 to 22, they had a little hiccup from 2018 through 2019. And then they're back on top in 2020 with $29 billion. Crazy, crazy money. So, I mean, balance sheet, income statements, check out. I definitely don't feel uncomfortable putting some money into a company like this, especially at a discount. Now let's keep it moving. Let's see what else we have. So I use TD Ameritrade to trade. All right. It's a great platform. They have the Thinkorswim platform as well for trading. Great tool. And this is one of my favorite things that they have. They have an analyst reports tab. They hire these guys. They pay them to debrief and look at every stock that they have, in other words. So here they have 36 analysts. Out of the 36 analysts that are employed by TD Ameritrade, 29 of them decide that the Facebook stock is a buy or is at. 6 of them are deciding that Facebook is a hold, and one of them, I don't know who that is, you might get fired. One of them decides to sell. This little thing right here are the predictions. In the next 12 months, the buys saying that Facebook could hit an average price of 466 in the next 12 months. If it stays and does mediocre, they're saying it might stay like at $405, 400, but definitely nobody in their right mind in the TD Ameritrade employee sees this stock going below $300. So, you know, it gives you a little insight on what TD Ameritrade's paid analysts do. Now, I like doing this because as you could see, analyst ratings, of course, they're a strong buy. We know that. Insider activity, there hasn't been any insider activity. Now, this is what you need to pay attention to. Hedge fund activity. Remember, guys, we're following the money. The hedge funds know what the hell they're doing. So, you know, here you kind of get an idea of more or less how many hedge funds look added. Holding chain, wow, okay. Added, new. All these have purchased. All of these have purchased Facebook stock recently. So it's decreased the hedge fund activity, but people are still buying. They're just not buying as much. New sentiment, of course, very bearish. All the bad news that's been happening and everything. Everybody's scared of Facebook right now. But that's what I do. When everybody's running the other way, I go against the grain and do what everybody else is not doing. Buying this stock at a 20 to 25% discount and just holding on to it. I mean, slow money is better than no money, a wise man once told me. So as you could see, and I could go through all of this, what I really like to do, I like to look at Marcus Edge, this guy right here. Why? Because they're very tough on stocks. And while everybody's telling you buy, they'll tell you why not to buy, in other words. So let's see what's going on. And they're very technical, so it gives you a technical analysis of everything. So they're saying to avoid Facebook, avoid the stock. Stock is not a short sale candidate. They're saying, they're not telling you to sell or short it. You would be crazy doing that. Let's see why. The current technical condition of Facebook is weak. The underlying indicators are negative and a reversal of the existing trend seems unlikely at this time. The stock has underperformed the market compared to the S&P 500 over the last 50 trading days, which is when all that negative publicity came out since September of last month. Okay, momentum as measured by the 9-day RSI is positive, but beginning to slow. Over the last 50 trading sessions, there has been more volume on down days than up days, indicating that Facebook is under distribution, which is a bearish condition. The stock is trading below a 50-day moving average, which we saw not so long ago, and which this confirms weak technical conditions of Facebook, and Facebook could find a secondary support upon its 200 moving day average. Those averages that they're talking about are these two lines. You know what? Let me make these nice and those two lines right here. 50 moving average is trading below, and then it's finding support at the 200 moving average is what they're saying. So, you know, a little bit of a second opinion there from paid analysts that TD Ameritrade has. I personally am bullish on this specific stock. I'm not saying to buy anything. I'm not saying to sell anything. I'm just showing you what I found. At the end of the day, this stock is trading from its all-time highs at an 18% discount. I don't know about you, but 18% of my money in a couple of months sounds like good news to me. And even more than that, because once Facebook gets right back up there where it goes, I mean, sky's the limit from there. They got the whole new metaverse thing going on, a whole bunch of stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I try not to make them long and like 30 minutes long. I get straight to the point. You already see my buying zones. You see all of that. If you have any detailed questions, anything, just reach out to me. You could drop a comment. You could reach out to me on my mobile number. You guys have it. Well, thank you so much for your time. Good luck out there. Remember that be patient in these markets. Even if you do buy, hold it. Hold it. If it goes down $20, $30, do you really think Facebook is going to go bankrupt? This is something that you're probably using right now as you speak. Every single day we use this platform. This is a great company. It's at a discount. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon.